Hi, YouTube. I hope you're all doing good. I am. Not too bad of a day. Got up to over 41 degrees out in the sun in the shade. When I looked at the thermometer, it was 41 degrees Fahrenheit, and things melt at 32 degrees or 33. So anyway, it was warm enough to melt the last couple days, and we've got some more warm weather coming up, so that's great. I'm loving it. I can't deny that. Um, if anybody isn't familiar with the Archaics channel, um, ARCAR, oh wait, CARIX, no, HRIX. Oh, I will leave his link. He had a really good, he read out of his Genesis, out of his 1823 King James Bible. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I have a pretty old one, but um, not that old. And the one that I did have, well, my first one got stolen because it was leather bound with gold around it and gold on the front, embossed in gold letters, and it was so beautiful. Um, oh well, but then I had one like my dictionary, my old dictionary, that my Bible and my dictionary are just about like falling apart, you know. But I do have some newer versions of things. But old stuff is so beautiful. It's, I mean, books. But you don't want to handle them. That's the thing of it. And I'm allergic to them anyway. But it was really cool last night, Jason reading out of that. The thing is, with his knowledge of people's history from around the world and language and his memory, it's like, wow, really. Um, I don't know. It's amazing. He's truly gifted. That's all I can say. So excuse me a minute. Cheers. So yeah, kind of a little better day today for me than yesterday. I am not really big on any holidays. You know, to me, every day's a holiday like that, except for a lot of people that I've been around. Every day has to be a party or they're crabby. Well, I like to work hard too, but I don't like to be around where my energy is drained, or trying to take my happy away. That it hasn't been bad today, but it's just one day, and it's not over with yet. So, so I, I have hope. But and I do believe in miracles, but you never know. That's between people and God or whoever they don't do or don't believe in. That's totally up to them. Um, I think I'll put another link to Amplex. Um, in fact, I'm going to put the link to Amplex. I have Jason's from Archaics over in my community. Um, if if you're not familiar with going into people's communities tabs, or um, a post, or like a meme, or sharing a video, sometimes I'll share songs, whatever. But last night I shared Jason's, or maybe it was this morning, or earlier today anyway. Um, but it's over there, and it's 1823 Bible, you'll see on that. So you'll know that. So I'm going to share the Amplex video I listened to. Um, about our environment. It's not very long. I think it's like a 10-minute video or somewhere around in there. Pretty short, sort of informative. Well, more than sort of. It just is. Things to consider if people haven't before. And I think most of you that communicate with me, we probably know a lot of the same things, you know. I just have, I, ugh, I don't know. I'm still trying to chill from all this push against the kids in the world. You know, that's always on my mind. You know, and what you parents of younger people are going through right now is just a flipping trip. It was for me too, I mean, especially because I realized what was going on, even beyond some of the like going to a PTA, parent teachers meeting, or a school board meeting, different things. Even within that area, there wasn't a whole lot of, even in the school system, the teachers and different people didn't really know what was really going on in society, and what they were really more groomers for people than educators, you know. And that word groomer, um, that's a deep thing, you know. It's a subtle thing. It's not something like they're so skilled at it. The little kids don't even know. They know children so well. They look for their vulnerabilities because kids, you know, pretty much they have the thought patterns and anatomies that they've always had. Aside from being a very sick society right now, people have pretty much all been the same for, um, as far as I can tell, a very long time. But then somebody might have just wrote some books about 100 years ago, or 200, even 300 years ago, and none of us can really prove anything different. But you know, that's why it's or like, okay, Jason from Archaics, his oh, it's a saga that he wrote, and I think I had shared like the oh, first or second book out of his saga. I think it's the second one, but it's like listening to the history of creation and what people call um, the Anunnaki or Anuna or whoever. The way he tells the history in this story, I was floored. There was no way I could express everything that was going on in my head from when I was a little kid, to be able to even talk to anybody on any sort of level. I'm just saying it was horrible, horrible, horrible. And if you listen how Jason tells this story, I think he calls it the Fair Lane or Far Lane saga or something like that. But that blew my mind. It was like, oh God, I could never prove anything, and I never could come up with enough documentation to ever express. If you knew how emotional that is for me, I can barely even tell you. I mean, it's if you get into what the truth is, and you're feeling it with your heart like that, it'll blow your mind, totally blow your mind. He's not putting it on anybody's shoulders in his story. He's claiming it for himself. We did this, he speaks, and we left the humans on their own and tried to save themselves and whatever, that type of thing. I love the way he worded it. I love the way he teaches it and tells it. He's not even a dad, but I think he is. I think he's like, boy, he took so much on his shoulders and compiled it, and he has it on USBs. All his work, like 17 books and so many videos or CDs. I don't know. It's blowing my mind. I seen him before out on Facebook, and he probably seen me around too. And um, I used to not really listen to him, although I knew he knew what was going on because of his gruffness. Because I had been around so much of that, it just was it really just was his voice, but also the youth in his personality. For a while, I had to chill on that. It's like, when, uh, I'm glad I stuck with him. I'm glad it's like, oh, that's you, okay. And then I listened again, and it's like, listen to him live. Now I can more than tolerate him. I literally, he had already, he was just talking to his audience on his live feed, and I fell asleep after he had been reading and talking about the documentation that he has to back it up. Like he likes to say, he has the receipts that he can prove from all the literature that a lot of scholars and theologians and different people do agree on, and I'm one of them. His work, I can't praise his work enough, and I am so proud of him. For him, that is phenomenal. If each of us can do for other people what he's really doing, our own things that well, if we're that blessed, wow, what a world it could be, right? Sharing the amount of and for free. I mean, you can buy the whole thing. He's thinking like, if you know there is a EMP or the grid goes down or whatever, you can potentially still in the future have his information, which is just brilliant. You know, um, absolutely. So yeah, that was really cool last night. Yeah, I'm trying to be a little more chill today, but when I think about the things that's happened to kids in front of me and around me and in work venues and different areas through my life, and watching them weave their web of deceit, and just watching them and knowing full well what they're doing, that's a lot to be aware of and actually function next to these people and let them breathe. And some people have only been aware of this stuff for a couple years, so just please feel me when I get upset. It's like, oh, there she goes putting on a good show. No, 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 no. I need to express the the severity of it all. And if it takes dramatics to express what the trauma is towards people, I'll say anything, just about, except for I won't lie for anybody. Not myself, not anybody. Okay, that's what I was thinking. My actual topic today a little late in the video, but just a minute here. Before Christ died, he was said to have said, Jesus on the cross said, Father, why have you forsaken me? And then that brings to mind to me how Christ came down here to walk as God through mankind he could not have done this without having kids, and I think some of us probably realize that we're of that bloodline, whatever, whatever. So that we can't prove that, but I think if you feel that inside you, it's probably what is true, or his relatives made relatively the same type of human that would carry that seed through the DNA through mankind, and he would rise out of the sea like a flippin' beast. And that's really who we are and how things happened. It's true. And the people that kidnapped, stole and lied and cheated and did everything they possibly could to create their own God so they could control God, that bloodline, so they could try and control you and me. Isn't that funny? Wow. What would be worse than two lovely me's? A whole bunch, maybe. Maybe. Never know. It'd still be me. It'd be all of me, only more. you know. But I got more to say on that. Walking with God, and just people are praising. They they are worshiping the creation, not the creator. The creation being flesh. Oh boy, there's more. I'm gonna try and go really as exploratory with this as I can. So, and they worship. Well, okay, they say they're worshiping God, but it doesn't sound like that. Christ came. It said that Jesus died for our sins. He came down here to walk as the Father amongst us. If I'm in place of my Father, I'm really not my Father. But like with our hearts, that's where it says I and the Father are one. In that respect, doesn't still make Christ God. He came here as a messenger to teach us how to communicate with the Father, that he's a messenger and a redeemer. Don't get me wrong, I'm not slighting or belittling the situation and people that have faith in that. He went before us, he ascended so he could come back and show us the way. In the meantime, there are people that have the heart of God, that have a full realization, or like me, have actually experienced dying and being back on this planet more than once. True. Really scary, but true. Well, no, I can't say it really was scary. The first time was really scary. when I had my stroke time, it wasn't scary, and I almost drowned, but I floated back up to the top and started breathing again. So, and there's some other times I really can't. I kind of couldn't tell you for sure, but what I'm telling you is true. So, but he's our messenger. He's our king. He's our leader. He's not God, and people worship him like he is. Do you see? He's still not. The Spirit of God's in him. The Spirit of God's in me. And with our bodies, that makes the Trinity. But there is the Mother, the Father, and the Mother is the one that was killed, by the way. There's the Mother, the Father, and the Son. And through cloning, they tried to recreate the Mother. Through cloning, they ended up recreating two of the Father. And it's sort of a mess, but some entities are soulless. And when you know if you're you, you have a soul. If you're trying to help a soulless one, that only can be done with the Father's help. Um, we can't do that. So even Christ asked for the Father's help in different situations. So people need to kind of back off. I'm not, like I said, there's no slighting in the whole situation because um, the part of the Father that died um, with Christ as a male and everything that's going on in the world is a great big representation of that. That's why I'm going to share that 10-minute or so Amplex video. I mean, it breaks it down as far as what's in the atmosphere and what it's doing to human bodies and even the mental disorders that concerning gender dysmorphia, you know. And I am going to do a video on um, coming up here. Actually, I'll put it this way. I might have to do a deep dive on parthenogenesis, biology of humans and biology of reptiles, and break it down for the people that are trying to make other people believe that they have reptilian in them. And that kind of really does piss me off. It makes me feel like a dragon. I think I'll put on a dragon costume and come out and go, guess what? I'm Illuminati. Oh, it's like there's a meme that has a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and they got really, really short arms, and it says, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. That's funny. I asked Doug, I go, how does a Tyrannosaurus Rex uh, shoot an AK? Doug's like, well, like a breakdown one he could put under his arm. And then Doug was talking yesterday how he broke his thumbs on the tractor steering wheel because it's got a lot of torque, and when you put it into gear, if you're turning the wheel, it'll flip and you have to really be hanging on to that thing. And if you're tired, and it's just a little bigger than the last one we had, I could drive pretty good, but this one, I don't think I'm going to even go there. But he broke both his thumbs. So you know that in 1984, I think it's that movie, it's one movie, the dude's like, how many fingers am I holding up, and he keeps moving his fingers. So I told Doug, I go, how many fingers am I holding up? He said, all of them. I said, you're right. Why do they call this a thumb and these fingers? He said, that's a good question. I said, because they want us to believe in evolution, Darwinism, and coming from out of the sea into monkeys and mankind and whatever. Like God's not incredible enough to make just a human being. But, or that we have to be mixed with everything to be what we are. And that's why we have germs, by the way, because of their shoddy science that they don't know anything about. And so then I'm like, so yeah, they got to say that we have opposing thumbs because we're like the primates. And, you know, it's like breeding a horse and a goat. They both have hoofs, but it's not the same hoof. So, anyway. But if people want to believe that they evolved from a monkey, hey, I'm happy you've come so far. You know, God bless you in your journeys because it's going to be a rough one. You know, there's different types of birds too. Some fly and some don't, you know, and some swim and some don't. Just things to consider, you know. Had somebody pass around a meme, half joking because I know this person, sort of half joking, that if you believe that birds are drones, um, just leave now. He's like. And I was like, uh, yeah, I had raised a injured baby pheasant and an injured baby robin, and all my chickens and the food they ate and the eggs they laid and all of it, they were just fake. Birds are just fake, is what the meme said. And that pasta salad, I had chicken pasta salad. I said it was looking like it was going to fly off my plate because it wanted to go back to its drone base, LOL, But it probably is possible that they could make a drone resemble a bird. I don't see why not. They have some pretty cool things. But I just saw a robin in my yard, and yesterday I saw a red-tailed hawk swooping by the property looking for baby kitties, most likely, or rabbits or mice or whatever. So, yeah, they're real. I absolutely know. Um, I've raised birds. They're not all fake. So, but I think the theory is kind of funny, you know. Let's see. I think that was about it on uh, people worshiping the creation instead of the creator because there's been a giant mix up that will get straightened out, and the people that are responsible aren't going to take responsibility for that. If they do someday, wonderful, but right now, the ones of us that actually know that need to really enlighten other human beings on our what we know for a fact is true type of thing. And that's all we can do. Just try to help ease people's hearts or minds just a tiny little bit, make some sense. And oh, one more thing before I go. I heard on Brucey's All live stream today. He's going to have one again, 7 o'clock Eastern time. That the Canadian government is going to try and start telling their unvaccinated people that they have a mental illness and they need depression medicine. What? These are the healthiest, happiest people on the planet that I know. My friends up there are loving and good, and you better leave them the hell alone, you freaks of nature. you know. Wow. They better not pull that in my United States. I'll walk to the courthouse. No, I won't. Actually, I'll but do something. I really will. If it goes that far here, I will not stay in my house and be quiet. I will physically go in, do and say something. I'll make some kind of not a scene, but I'll let them know that somebody very tall just walked in their office to talk to them. You know, so or at least I'll look way taller than I am. I can do that depending on my circumstances. So maybe some of you can too. Look taller or not, depending. Kind of change my looks up a little bit. So, yeah, whatever. I'll do whatever it takes for everybody. That's the bottom line. So, I hope you got the point that uh, nobody on this planet is God, and the Spirit of God works through everybody. And Christ is just like us. He's identical to us. He's our King because He did this for us in the flesh. But besides that, we're all on the same playing field. If people are going to be honest and share with other people and find words to on their level to teach them things, wow, what an incredible informed world, you know. So, all right, everybody, thank you for joining me. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Mine was so pretty good, not bad. So, have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.